Hey, Mark Walsh here, once again on lockdown in Crawley, suffering horribly. So this time of year I get a question I get a lot, which is, what practice should I do? Well, the answer is, it depends. So let's make it a better question than that. So your starting point, I would say, is what for? Like, what is the embodied practice you want? Is it just a general, be more body aware? Is it self-regulation, self-expression? Is it more on the social side of things? So we can look at it through two lenses. One would be a skill set lens. So if you look at my embodied intelligence model, you'll find that in my book and online for free. You can say, what is the skill set I'm wanting to build with a practice? So that's, again, we're in the growth model. Another way we can look at the growth model is to say, what's the quality I want to build? And you can map that different ways. For example, like four elements: firiness, wateriness, whatever. So that's if you're in a growth mindset, you actually want to grow, you want to build a way of being or a skill set, if you prefer to look at it that way this year. Another way of looking at it is just simply like from a well-being point of view. So I tend to separate out fitness from embodiment. So for example, I might do pull-ups or, running for my fitness. And I think it's worth separating that out, though of course you can still do those in a mindful and an embodied way. But it tends to sort of, try to chase two things isn't so smart. So separating that out. If it's just well-being, though, you might want to do something easy. So this is your basic choice. Do I want to grow, or do I want to do something easy that's just going to resource me? And this is really going to depend a lot what your life's like. If you're sort of like, your kids have got COVID and you're going through a divorce and life's really hard right now, then maybe you just do the thing that's easy and fun and accessible. Easy, fun, accessible. Equally, if you're like, no, I actually feel pretty resourced right now, I want to be on a growth curve, like, I'm on holiday, I'm having a nice time, I did my rest, and that was, just did stuff that was easy. Now I'm like, okay, I actually want to grow, I want to challenge myself. So then we go to, again, the skill set model, my embodied intelligence model, or just the quality you want to build. So that's pretty much it. The main things to add really to this, having made that choice, and of course it could be some combination thereof, would be who, where, and how. So in my book there's a whole piece on this if you want to go into more detail, but who you do the practice with is really important. So if you were to do like a really yang practice with a really yin group of people, you'd probably become more yin, not more yang, right? You end up being the sum of the people you're with. Equally, the teacher, is there a teacher that has high integrity that's a good teacher? There's lots of people who are good practitioners but not good teachers. Next is where. So this is tremendously underrated. Like if, for example, one reason I do Systema in Brighton during non-lockdown times is that the club's actually really quite close to my house where they train, so the convenience factor is massive there, massive. And how you do it is the critical thing rather than the practice. Embodiment is all about the how, so how you do it is what matters. So there you go, those things can make or break the practice. So when people say, should I do aikido, should I do yoga, I go, well, it depends. How are you going to do it? Who are you going to do it with? Where is it? And critically, that question of what are you trying to build? So, whether you look at it for a skill set model or a being model, that is the starting point rather than, Mark did aikido or I heard 5 rhythms is cool. There's so much out there, it's impossible to choose. So they're the key things. If you want to know if it does build a way of being, you can look at the people who do that and say, do I want to be more like them? Key thing is like linking it to your motivations, like what would that bring you in your life? Let's say you want to start a yoga practice, what skills would it build again? So maybe it's like, self-awareness, self-regulation, and how would that actually improve your life, linking it to the things you really care about, which is really helpful from a motivation point of view. And as I said, getting social on that, getting accountability on that. I mean, for example, I happen to be wearing this t-shirt today, that is a coincidence. On the Embodied Facilitator Course, we take people through a lot of experiments. They go, oh, actually, I love improv, I didn't think I would. Or, oh, just at this stage in my life, I love to dance. I've done, form-based martial arts forever, and now I want to break free. So doing some experiments, I think, is a good idea for January, trying some new things, getting some recommendations, off Facebook or whatever, and then committing to something. So they're the two stages we take people through on EFC. It's experimenting and then commitment. You need to do both of those, I would say, to make an informed choice this year. And of course, as the year goes on, you may need to adapt. I did certain things during COVID that when I was on lockdown in my house that I now don't do now when I'm on holiday, right? So there we go. There's my top tips. Please excuse the beautiful environment I'm in here taking it easy at the end of the year, but I can't help giving a little bit of advice on this because I do get asked a lot. So I hope that is useful to you.